Have you ever wondered what it really takes to make Agile work? Well, at the Global Agile Summit, we're bringing you real-life, first-person stories of Agile succeeding out there in the real world that will inspire you to take action. Whether you're a leader, a product innovator, a developer, you'll hear practical insights from those who've done it. They'll be telling their own stories from the stage. I'll tell you more about this at the end of this episode, so stay back and listen to the full detailed description of what we have in store for you at the Global Agile Summit. But if you can't wait, you can go right now to globalagilesummit.com and check out our full schedule. For now, on to the episode, but I'll see you at the end of this episode with more details on the Global Agile Summit. Talk to you soon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Team Tuesday. And this week we have with us Deniz Ari. Hey, Deniz, welcome back.
Thank you. Hi. Hello.
So Team Tuesday, of course, is where we talk about teams. But before we dive into that, Deniz, share with us, in your career as a Scrum Master, what was the book that most inspired you?
I had read, I have some reading about, some theoretical books, Succeeding with Agile, Software Development Using Scrum by Mike Cohn, and Agile Software Development with Scrum. It's a Ken Schwaber book, and a couple of change management book. It affects too much. But what I enjoy and what I suggest, it's another book. It's more wider book. It's not just for Scrum Masters, for everyone, literally. Especially if you are working very complex environments, with so many people. And I am going to suggest the book is Boundaries from Dr. Henry Cloud. It's about the human boundaries, there's so many different type of relationship. Does your life feel like it's out of control, which is keep happening as a Scrum Master to me. And perhaps you feel like you have to say yes to everyone request. It is another dilemma as a Scrum Master, not just to say yes, not just say no, but you keep say yes, that you keep saying no. And it's very difficult, to be honest. And maybe you find yourself readily taking responsibilities for others' feelings and problems. This is the most challenging part as a Scrum Master, dealing with the people's feelings and problems, and they should work. Yeah, it's constant. And perhaps you focus on being loving, unselfish, and you have forgotten your limits and limitations. And this book helped me a lot about especially saying no, being part of it, and take care of the people's feelings, emotions. When you constant, the working with them, because they are human beings. We are all human. We have all plenty selection as the emotions, problems, other not work life, the personal commitments, but at the same time we need to deliver, and we are here on the professional environment. This book helped me a lot to remember why we're struggling to say yes and no, especially no bits. As a personal, I did struggle, but yeah, I think being Scrum Master is like a one whole package thing. It's not like sticking with the methodologies, frameworks, values. It should be more than that. If we have our soft skills, how that's strong, we can be more resilient, and we can be more confident. Yeah,
I really like how you put it. Being a Scrum Master is like a full package deal. Yeah. I really like that. It's not just about the process. We are there to enable people to succeed at something that is really difficult, right? Because it's a lot of people collaborating on a very complex system, whatever that system might be. And we need to take into account the personal side, the people side, which is, of course, on everybody's people side, but also our own as humans. We also have our limits, our boundaries. So thank you for that recommendation. The link is in the show notes, of course, for everybody to go and check it out. And Deniz, now we turn our attention to teams and how sometimes they can become their own worst enemies. So tell us a story of a team, give us a little bit of the context, what kind of project, how many people, and so on. And then walk us through those steps as that behavior or those approaches that people were taking in the teams actually grew and became a problem for the team?
Yes, of course. I was going to talk about one project, which is security project. And it's working. This bunch of engineer needs to work with this couple of services. This services is using by millions people, like a tax, and they are in live. And they are valuable security perspective. And these engineers had plenty phases with architectures, and they had the solutions. Everything starts very keen, very it was very high motivation. But what happened on this project? We did some negative attitudes. The lack of support.
What do you mean by that? Can you give an example?
Yes, of course. It's just like a constant criticizing without any reason to question people's skill sets. And it's just like expressing pessimism, and team morale. This is the thing, it's not easy to have team morale up and, the trust. These people was not like new joiners. They were around for a while. But when they see this kind of phase of the stakeholders management and the roles conflict between each other, and everyone's stepping in their shoes like a scrum master, PO, the lack of support is a technical wise, because it's very easy to, if you're doing something stressful, software development wise, the very tight timeline, a high expectation, and unrealistic deadlines, it's very easy. It's very easy to, people can turn each other. It's just literally because we lost the trust. People thinks they being micromanagement. They were micromanaging, and they can easily. And we had very problem with communication, and they were like under 10 people. It was not like a big crowd, like 8 people, 7 people. Very capable people, the high experienced people, senior people but yeah, it's, if you're losing, if you're bringing negative attitude and lack of support and, the constant criticizing and micromanagement, it's very easy.
So this type of behavior, like the constant criticizing, the micromanagement, and kind of this negative attitude, if I hear you right, it kind of started coming up in everyone, right? Like it wasn't just that the managers were trying to micromanage, but the negativity was also between the people in the team. Is that the correct understanding?
It start with no, it start with the PO. I mean, like on the project person,
So how did the PO start bringing that negativity into the team?
According to and we changed 3 PO, by the way, in under the 1 year for this project. It's nothing just like, and you can imagine how wrong it is, because I think what triggered this culture, I don't want to say culture, but this is another thing, isn't it? It's happening. It starts with the stakeholders management, the client management. They reflect stress thing directly to team, and the team doesn't matter how they senior, how they experience, how did they start, and offline discussions, the asking overtime without my the awareness, and the Friday evenings, suddenly people turns online and carry on work for the unknown delivery time, which is everything was no, and no. And what happened? It's just literally, and the people, it's not easy to say, especially it's depend on the personality, the saying no, because these people was so senior and very dedicated. They quite on point focused people, and
what you're saying is that kind of the product owner was potentially feeling the pressure from the client and kind of bringing that pressure to the team directly without filtering it, without
100%,
creating
100%, yes.
Yeah.
Without filtering at all, without the even unnecessary conflict on emails, the rude messages, micromanagement, obviously, the questioning and asking justifications about the task, why it's taking too long, but the transparency was there. Everything was on the tools, everything was on the solution document. It's nothing someone's gonna made up some steps, which is, it can be, isn't it? We keep adapting. If there is a blocker, we keep trying to solve it. But yeah, it was like a very big experience for me. But yeah, it cost a lot.
So when you look back at that moment, that story, like if you could go back and relive that story, what would you do differently these days, Deniz?
What would I do? Okay, maybe I can avoid unnecessary, the tensions. Maybe I did some things personal as a Scrum Master, because it's very difficult, isn't it? Taking not as a personal, but at the same time, you're a gatekeeper. You need to protect the team, yeah. And that's the challenge for me. And because if I see some things wrong, I can't hold myself, speak up. Maybe I can be more politics. I don't know, but this is my personality. I know it's very difficult. We are on the professional environments. But as a Scrum Master at the same time, if I can't protect the team, take care of the team, what's my purpose? We keep delivered, but we lost so many engineers. They rotate to another area, burnout, sick leave, they close themselves, it costs a lot. But what I do differently, maybe I can try to more politics and, I don't know, calm, and maybe avoid any tensions between, especially written communication, like on emails and messages. Maybe I can avoid, but yeah, that's it.
And sometimes we can't avoid the pressure, right? Like sometimes the pressure just is there because it is part of that particular environment. But I think you make a very good point, which is that as a Scrum Master, we need to protect the team, and we need to try to enable the team to be able to deliver. And that might be difficult in some cases. And we need to figure out, what is the acceptable way to push back in specific areas or specific organizations. It's not easy, right? And that's why Scrum Master is such a difficult and important role in software development. This is a great story. Thank you for sharing that, Deniz.
No worries. Thank you.
Hey, friend. Thank you for staying. Here is all you need to know about the Global Agile Summit. If you've ever suffered or know people who are suffering from agile fatigue, this event is for you. Agile fatigue is that feeling that settles in when we can't really see a light at the end of the tunnel. We get discouraged, especially when conversations revolve around the same old frameworks, the same old buzzwords and theories. We don't feel that energy anymore. Well, the Global Agile Summit is a different kind of event. We're bringing you real-life first-person stories of Agile succeeding out there in the real world that will inspire you to take action and transform the way you work. The Global Agile Summit will happen in Tallinn, Estonia, May 18th, that's the workshop day, and then 19th and 20th, the conference day. And Tallinn, Estonia is one of the most innovative tech hubs in Europe. The Global Agile Summit is hosted together with Latitude 59, which is kind of a citywide celebration of software startups and groundbreaking ideas. And we'll have a shared ticket for you to attend those events as well. So who will be speaking? Well, we've got an incredible lineup of thought leaders in software and Agile. For example, Clinton Keith, the person who literally wrote the book on game development with Scrum, and is busy bringing Agile to the world of game development. You must check his session. The very famous and well-known Jürgen Apelo, author of Management 3.0, will be talking and exploring about AI's impact on leadership. We also have Gojko Adzic, who's taking an unconventional look at the product growth with his lizard optimization keynote. Other speakers include, for example, Sven Dietz, who's challenging everything we know about software development by literally ditching contracts and estimates. Can you imagine? His teams deliver software before their competitors are even done with the contract negotiation. How agile is that? But there's more. We'll cover engineering practices in our developer track with talks on, for example, AI-assisted test-driven development, developing products in minutes with a different approach to how we develop, configure, deploy platforms, and much more. We also have a product track where we cover cutting-edge ideas around product discovery, delighting customers with product delight frameworks. We'll have a talk about that. And we also have an agile business track where we will talk about, for example, open strategy, a very agile approach to managing organizations and delivering software faster to clients, faster than you can even write a contract. Literally, I mean, I already told you about Sven Ditz's story. It's amazing. It definitely is a must-see. I'm sure you'll be inspired and get a lot of ideas for your own software projects and software delivery. Now, whether you're a business leader, a product innovator, or a developer, you'll definitely find value in our 3 focused tracks. That's Agile Business for those working with businesses and organizations, Agile Product for product managers, product owners, and innovators, and Agile Developer for the builders, making Agile work in practice, the coders, the testers, the designers, the producers, the Scrum Masters, you name it. If you join, you will meet over 200 Agile professionals from all over the world. People who, just like you, want to grow, want to share, and want to learn by challenging the ideas that don't work anymore. At the Global Agile Summit, you'll get new connections, fresh ideas, and the energy to take your own Agile to the next level. And who knows, maybe even find your next career opportunity. So don't miss out. Check out the full program and grab your ticket now at globalagilesummit.com. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in Tallinn, Estonia in May. I'll see you there.